Good morning.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. I'm gonna go.
Happy Thursday. You're gonna get our comments for us
Yes.
going so we can say hello to everybody. Welcome. It's Thursday and it is raining here, like pouring rain.
Torrential. Yep.
Did you have a hood when you came in today? Because your hair looks
grabbed
lovely.
an umbrella.
Okay, good.
Because like the big honker umbrella, like the golf course
The
umbrella.
golf umbrella?
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
was like, I curled this. Come on.
It was definitely a golf umbrella day.
Yeah.
When we dropped the kids off at school this morning, I made John get out of the car and take them in because he does not have hair. So
Yeah, easy.
yeah,
I like that. Good call.
So yes, it's raining here, but still kind of, I guess it brings the promise of spring, and
It does.
the flowers
Yeah.
are going to bloom and the grass is turning green. So
We have flowers. Do you have flowers?
we
Like in
have
your-
some,
some,
yes.
yeah.
Like the daylilies are starting to come up and the trees are budding. So
Well, that was the thing with the hail. It brought down all the little leaves off the tree. It looks
Oh.
like we've got green confetti all over our yard this morning. It's kind of pretty, but terrible in the same thing. But
yes.
yeah, anyway.
Oh, you hate to see the little buds and tiny little leaves all over the ground.
It was,
when
but
they're
it's-
just getting started.
Yeah, I
But-
took a picture of it because I was like, it's kind of pretty in a sad sort of way, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, we didn't have any hail here last night, so you kept that to yourself, at least at my house. Whitney said they did, but
Yeah, the
yes,
cars were all in the garage, so I was like, okay, we're
That's
fine.
good. That's good.
Allergies in full bloom, Rita says.
Yes.
Great.
I don't have that problem, but I feel for all of you that
Yeah.
do. My husband does. John has allergies, and he's always sniffling this time of year. So, and I get nervous. I'm like, "Are you sick?"
Yeah.
No, it's allergies. He has to tell me every time.
I love it.
Well, you guys are in for a treat today. I'm going to
Yes.
kind of go over a few of the things that are happening this week that happened earlier this week. So in case you didn't catch the live on Tuesday, we have double points happening for all of our insiders, super fans, and Rainbow Royalty. So
It's a big deal.
everybody who is not just a member of TE, but at least moved up one tier, you get double points on all of your purchases this week, not just the new release. So it's a great time to fill in your wish list and grab those goodies so you can use those crafty points later on. Then we also had our grad release, which
Yes.
Susan will be talking more about.
Yes.
And lots of fun products. So it was actually a smaller, more curated release for us, but we brought back lots of our old favorites and
And a sale.
a sale.
You should
on-
check the sale against your wish list, I'm thinking.
That is true.
Yeah.
We have our Reach for the Stars sale. So all of our products that feature stars in them are on sale 25% off this week. You can find that category by clicking on the banner on the website, and that'll take you to all the items, and that's only while supplies last. So get in there early for the best selection.
Would it be a shock to you that I'd say stars are like kind of one of my favorite things? Like,
I'm not
shocked.
Yeah.
A lot of my favorite things are on that list. I'm like, ooh.
Yes, they're
But
really easy.
I own them all. So.
Easy to incorporate into a lot of different things. I think I talked about this on Tuesday too, that we have 4th of July coming up.
Yeah.
And all of those star products will transition to that holiday. And stars are just great for birthdays and general proud of you type occasions.
And they
So,
go any gender,
Yes.
any age.
Love it.
So that's why I like them, I think.
Yeah.
Versatile. I like versatile.
Well, Susan has something fun in store for you today, and a little bit of tea to spill at the end.
Don't let me
So,
forget. I always
yes.
get to the end and I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta do that. So don't let me forget.
Check the comments, and everybody will be reminding you.
Oh, I'm sure.
What about the tea? I'm glad I'm not in charge of that because I would forget like every time. Anytime sometimes we used to do like prize giveaways, or like I would give away the card that I made.
Oh yeah.
I would
remember
forget that every time. And then I'd have to go back and leave a comment and sorry, I forgot. Here's the winner. So yes.
You get it done eventually. That's all that counts, right?
All right. Well, you guys have fun with Susan.
you.
I'm going to pop out and yeah.
I'm gonna let you flip it.
Okay. I'll flip
closer.
it for you.
Thank
There we
you.
go.
Hello. So I'm going to talk about, if you read the description that Whitney so beautifully worded, I'm going to talk a little bit about giving money. This is the time of the year that grads are happening, so you're giving money for that a lot of times, or a nice gift card, or maybe Mother's Day. I don't know about you guys. I'm absolutely blessed to still have my mother around, and she is very hard to buy for. So gift cards to the nail salon or the hair salon are usually our go-to. So gift cards for Mother's Day, and then I just got done with March, which is my biggest masculine birthday month in my life. So giving money, giving gift cards, or even like lottery tickets, a lot of these little tricks are what I use for those things. I always say the guys in my life, like my brothers, probably don't care if I send them a birthday card, but they're always looking for the lottery ticket I usually throw in there. And I'll share with you how I put those in and make sure they're tucked in there so they don't get lost. So I'm going to show you this card, how I did these first. And I know if you've been around, you have seen me do this a year ago. But it is my favorite go-to for my grad cards. And being we have a lot of new people, and now that we have the awesome Notch gift card holder, let me see if I can find it. Now that we have that sold separately now, I think it's so cool. So I wanted to kind of go over that, and then I'm going to talk about like 4 different ways to give money or gift card or lottery ticket, as it is in my family, as we go. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about all of that. I know you guys are all sharing where you're from. I hope the one comment from Oklahoma, Susan, that you're safe. Last night when I thought our skylights were going to get beat in by the hail, I was also just very thankful we weren't under any tornado. Like, we were under a watch, but nothing. They weren't saying anything bad. So sunny California sounds nice though, and sunny Florida. Oh, that's Louise in Florida. Awesome. I hope everything is going well for you, Louise, there. So we're going to talk about this one first, and then I promise I'm going over lots of different ways. And like I said, I showed this last year, so I might not be as detailed about it this year. There is another video from a year ago that I did this. But I put the notch, this gift card notch, in here so that you can put in a gift card, whether you're going to give someone, Casey's is kind of my go-to for gift cards. I just happen to have a Hy-Vee. So something that kids can get gas, because what kid doesn't need gas, or a little snack on the road. But you can fit your gift card in there. You can also stick cash. So the notch holder works for cash, but I fold it into thirds to make it fit. So I do a third and I put whatever the dollar amount is sticking out. I go to the bank and I'll ask them for a few really nice crisp 20s or 50s or whatever I'm giving. And you can tuck this in. This would, I suppose, work for anything you're giving cash. Wedding is another one that I've got coming up. And then, so thirds makes that fit in our notch perfectly. So, and you can tuck that down in here too. So, just like that. And then I do usually put pull, I don't want anyone to think I didn't get them anything. So, I will talk about that. So, let me walk you through it. One of the coolest things that I just stumbled across last night, or yesterday, while I was here in the studio, I saw this beautiful card from Lori Craig, and I just really liked I think it's sea salt ink, I know it is, on our sugar cube cardstock that she did. And this happens to be one of our insiders, and those are printed on sugar cube cardstock. So she stamped it with sea salt and that new grad background. I thought that was so cool, and I liked that look, so I said to Taylor, I wonder if our pearl works on there. And she said, well, our pearl, the TE pearl embossing powder, kind of gives off a silver tone. So I grabbed some sea salt and stamped it and tried it, and I really loved the results. I thought that was pretty. Can you imagine that on a wedding card? Like, I just think that would be beautiful. So I just wanted to try it, and I really liked how it turned out. I'm going to show you how I did that background, but then then we'll assemble one. So let's get this stuff out of the way. I'm just going to show you this embossing powder first, just because I thought it was so cool. As you know, I love embossing, right? Let's see, pretty pearl. I know, she said, and that is something we've come across, that pearl embossing powder shows up very silver on a lot of colors. So you kind of have to test it. Like if you had, a small solid stamp of some sort, maybe grab a piece of scrap of cardstock and try a few and figure out which ones are your favorite. So that is just kind of a fun way to test it out and see what happens, because I really like the results with the sea salt. So this is sea salt cardstock, And I did use just a little bit of our temporary tape runner. I just put a little bit down on the back so it holds it in place. And of course I'm gonna powder it because we've gotta make sure we do that first, right? And Versamark, of course. Ink that up. And I am a double stamper, can't help myself. I love having the Misty, so. Oh, thanks, love both cards. I'm gonna show you how I did them in process here, but I really wanted to show you how this totally changes. I know I've talked about how much shorter I am than Taylor, but I think it's funny because our whole desk here where we do our lives is set up for people with long arms. So I feel like I'm reaching over everything. Today I tried to put more things on my side of the table because I don't have the long arms, the height to get some of that stuff that we put back in the back. But so again, sea salt cardstock, and then just Versamark. Now you could also just do the clear on this one also, but I just really wanted to try because you know I love that technique. And you would just get a watermark look. An exaggerated watermark look is what I would say if you do the clear. But this is the pearl. Shake a little bit of that on. And then we'll heat it. It's funny because like right now it just looks really white when you shake it on. And I was like, okay, when am I going to see the silver? Because I know on other colors, the silver tones in here really come out. So let me get this out of the way so I don't make a mess. Ask me how I know. I just did it the other day. I had a piece of paper. I was making a grad card last weekend. Had my paper to funnel it back in, and I waited just a second. And of course, in that second, I decided to bump it. So I did heat up my heat tool before we started the live, but just heat it up a little bit more. So that's what it looks like now. Just looks plain white. While I'm waiting for my heat tool to heat up, a lot of times I just heat up the back of my paper. It's something that we used to do long ago when I first started stamping. I still feel like it helps. So can you see that change? I'll hold it up to the camera quick here. Get a few pieces done. Can you see that? Isn't that pretty? This might be my favorite way to use the pearl embossing powder. If you see divots and bumps in your embossing, it might not be done all the way, so make sure you go back and give it a little more heat. If you can kind of see, I am not on top of my paper. I try really hard to keep my paper moving, at least in the same area, not around the whole thing. So I keep it moving just a smidge, but I stay basically in the same area. Because I feel like you've already heated up the cardstock. I don't move around a lot. Like, I don't go all over, because I feel like I've already heated up that area. Might as well finish heating it. Have I convinced you all yet to love embossing like I do? I swear I do it all the time. I don't think I can stamp without embossing. I could really do it a lot, honestly. So isn't that pretty? That's crazy, I think, how pretty that turned out. And it was all inspired because I was like, I really liked Lori's card, and I thought, man, I wonder how our pearl would look tone on tone that way. So that is how I made this. I'm going to assemble just so we can have fun and see another color. I'm going to walk you through how I made this, but we're going to do it in blue tones so that you didn't have to listen to the embossing gun twice, right? I took that hats off grad background. I took that. I stamped it with Versamark on our blueberry cardstock. This looks black, huh? From there. And I stamped that with Versamark and then used clear this time. So I got that tone on tone look that you all know that I love. That's that, I call it exaggerated watermark look. So I used the Versamark, but this time I used clear. And I just did that ahead of time so that, because there's so much I want to show you, I didn't want to show you embossing twice. And I know I've shown you the Versamark with the clear before, so I want to show you something different. So I'm going to bring in, did this out. I did it last year, but I have a much cleaner, nicer looking version this year. So if you want to screenshot this, you can. This starts as a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of cardstock. I should probably put that down here so you guys have that. I don't think I have it written anywhere. There we go. So this is kind of this is what I need this whole mechanism here to look like. So that's all my measurements, all my pieces. So this pull-out piece is the 3 1/4 by 2 1/2. And then this piece is all of my scoring and my cutting that I need. So if you need to screenshot that, feel free. I'll let it set just for a sec. Is that okay to see it like that? But that's my cheat sheet. That I really do use that. I have one at my desk that's definitely not as clean as that one. I have writing all over it. The biggest thing is you start with your 4 by 5 1/4, which this is the blueberry. And I have already cut the piece that's going to go in the inside. That's this piece. Then I'm going to grab my trimmer. My favorite trimmer for doing this, because it doesn't work with a guillotine, is this one from that TE sells. There's plenty of versions, I think. I don't know what Stampin' Ups look like now, but any of the cutters that have like the arrow on the blade so that you know exactly where you're going, those are the best ones to use. And then I also want a good grid. So this one from Fiskars shows every 1/4 of an inch is a regular line. So I will take this one, and Taylor and I are different. I work this way. Everyone has a different way of using their cutter, right? And I am definitely, I don't know why, I want the hinge on the left side. Random little thing. Let me see, am I missing any questions? Oh, and the name of this card, I believe I got it from, well, I know I got it last year from Split Coast, and they called it Pop-Up Surprise. My measurements might not be the same as theirs, but that's where I started with the idea. So let's go, and we're gonna take both of these sides and this bottom need to be cut at 3/4 of an inch in. So we're gonna cut all three. This one at the top will be scored and not cut. So I take my piece of cardstock all the way out to 3 1/4. I'm going to take my blade, being this is at 5 1/2. Need my glasses. Being this is at 5 1/4, sorry. I'm going to start at 4 1/2, and then I'll go down to 3/4. And then I personally, just in case there's a smidge off on my cardstock, you know how you can cut 5 1/4 5 times and there might all be a hair different just by the way you end up laying your paper. So I do like to go this way, and then I'll go the 4 1/2 straight down to the 3/4. I do, before I get going, before I start slicing, I will look at where I'm starting and where I'm going, so that you're not too far before you realize, oh, I gotta stop here. So, and then we gotta, of course, go across the bottom. I'm going to choose to have the bigger images of this background at the top. I feel like that looks like the top. So again, at 3/4, and then here I don't, being the Fiskars is clear and I have an arrow, you could look at the measurements, but I just take the arrow from this cut line to the next cut line. But that is a personal preference. You just need to be 3/4 of the way up. So that gives us our, and sometimes I don't get it all the way, and I would choose to just snip it with my scissors. That gets us our little flap. So we're done with the trimmer for now. Put that aside. Then we need our score pal, whatever you like to use. And I just lost my bone folder. Okay. And again, so then this is my scoring measurements. So 3/4, 2 3/8, and 4 1/8. So I'm going to take that. Here's my 3/4. It should be right at the top of my line there, which it is. And I will go across, and I just follow. I'm just going from one cut line to the next. So then when I go to 2 3/8, just so I can see, I will kind of pop this up because now I can see my 2 3/8 a little bit better. And then the next one is 4 1/8. I mean, you can do it this way, but I just feel like I can't see my lines as well. So I always kind of fold that back. It's getting folded later anyway. So we will fold on all three of our lines here, get them reinforced. So that gives you, that's the pull-up mechanism. That's the hardest part of this card. that gives you that. Let me see, did everyone kind of follow me there? Okay, so I'm gonna fold them. And then again, if you choose and you want something a little different, I have played with these numbers. These just happen to be what I like. I like the flexibility of just being able to do whatever I want. So something we're gonna do quick before I forget is we're gonna cut the little notch that we need up here to pull. And I just take my circle dies. We all have some sort of circle die, whether they're stitched or not stitched. I happen going to grab the TE ones that are stitched. And I will, let's get this out of the way because I'll be bringing in my die cut machine. Let's bring that in, and we're gonna cut this little notch at the top. So a little bit of temporary tape. And we're just gonna cut, let me see, am I still in the frame there? Make sure it's centered. And it doesn't, I either do a half or a little less than a half of a circle is what I'm cutting. So nothing, no rocket science in this one at all. And then you'll just cut that, and all you'll end up cutting is just that little circle. So that way it gives you that half circle that you need. So again, center it, but only half of the circle goes onto the cardstock. That'll give you a little half notch. If you have an old school punch, you can circle punch, you can do that too. I don't have many of those around, except for a few these days. So that gives us our notch. And while I have the die cut machine close, we are going to cut. This is the mechanism that pulls up. So I also want to cut into here our notch. So this is the gift card notch, but it's also money, whatever you want, it can hold. And I just place that, I kind of place it a little further up than half because you have an 1/8 of an inch down here that's actually going to get adhered. It's going to get, we use some score tape to keep the whole mechanism in place. So I always go a little up from half and then tape that down, and then we'll die cut that. Die cut that into there. And then we can build it. I'm already kind of checking my time. I'm really afraid I'm going to go long today because I have lots to show you. So one of the first things that I would like to do is I'm going to go ahead and put the score tape that I need down here across the bottom. Just a really strong adhesive. I don't think a tape runner would work. If you have the time to let the liquid glue dry, that would totally work. But I just put a little of the tape runner, or not tape runner, score tape across the bottom. And then I will take mine, I want to line it up. So I'll hold it up to the camera so you can see it. I will line it up across the bottom with my piece of paper there and centered. Does that make sense? So I've got this piece on. I want to make sure my notch gift holder is towards the top. So I'm going to just double check that. Then I will line those up, adhere it. So it's like that. Does that make sense? I'm going to grab my trimmer quick. Even though I cut it to be 3 1/4, I do have a little smidge hanging off. That can happen just if I made it a fat 3 1/4 or whatever, it's no big deal. I just always bring my paper trimmer in and cut off just a hair. I don't want that hanging off the top, so let me put it back in frame here for you, sorry. I'm going to set it on there. I could have checked that before I adhered it. That probably would have been a smart thing to do, right? But that makes it a little more even at the top. I like that. So that's my mechanism that will pull up. So I choose to, I don't have that straight. I'm going to fix it. Sorry. Luckily, score tape is a little bit forgiving. I wasn't centered. That was bothering me. There we go. It wasn't centered left to right. I don't know. My eye didn't catch it before, but that just scooched it over. But we need to, kind of like if you were doing a shaker card, we need a well or we need something to give this some space to pull up and down. You could adhere it flat, but I find it's a little tighter. So pick whatever your favorite foam tape is. You can use our new 1/32. That would work great. It'll give you a little bit of space without adding a ton of bulk to a card. You can also use the 1/8. You can also use our foam sticky strips, or wait, this is 1/16. If you want 1/8 and you want a lot of pop on it, I would recommend these because they're already cut to the size that you need. Completely up to you though, whatever you like the best. I'm gonna try our 1/32 just because that's new for me this year. We didn't have this a year ago. I don't know about you guys, but I'm flying through this stuff. I use it all the time. Barbara was saying that she doesn't have any grads, but here's the thing. Any of this, I'm going to show some money giving things for birthday cards, but yes, this pop-up doesn't have to be a grad. It could be a grandkid that you're giving a little gift card to. I don't know. I said grandkid. I apologize. Niece, nephew, anyone that you're giving a gift card to. I have a nephew that his birthday is in May, so I need one for him, and all I ever give him is cash because he wants music store stuff for his drumming. So whatever works for you, it doesn't have to be grad. Use it for whatever you would like. I'm just going to cut these. I want them to be pretty thin because I don't have a ton of space down the side. I do not want my mechanism running into each other. So just make a well like you would for any type of shaker card. You just want to make this so that there's some space for things to pull. I think this might be close, but not quite. I like the backing on this too because I don't have to worry about it sticking to my scissors. That's always a nice thing, right? Okay. So it's not pretty. My wells are not always like perfect, but no one will see them. So I just want to make a well so that this can pull. That's all you basically need. I want to make sure this isn't hanging off my card though. So that's all I need, just something for that mechanism to move up and down. Nothing special. Just make sure nothing's going to be bumping or running into each other. I hope you make one, Barbara. Make a birthday card or yeah. What else is coming up? Mother's Day. Just because if you have a friend you want to send something to. So we'll peel the backing off of these. And something that I already know I wish I had done was stamp the pull on there. I don't want to set it down now because I already have it peeled off, but before I peeled that all off, I should have stamped that pull just so I don't have to worry about it being flat or moving around on me. So we're just going to hover that over one of our top folding card bases and get that in place right there. I feel like I'm crooked, am I? No, pretty good. So that is our mechanism, and then we have our notch in there. Don't forget your notch. But I have the I'm Interactive stamp set, and my favorite one to use is the word pull. Pull here works too, depending on if you have enough space. I guess I have enough space, but I might do the pull here. I have enough space this time. Last time I did not. So depending on your space, I'm gonna grab the pull here. I'm gonna check to make sure I have it right side up because that would be bad, right? Yep. And then I'm gonna put my head in the way, sorry. So I can stamp that. Oh, I got lucky. I wish I had done that before I assembled it, but that's okay. So added that, we will set that aside. And then, I mean, you could put string on here or a tassel or something. Absolutely whatever you wanted to do. I just choose to make it more flat and do it this way. So on my other two cards, you can do lots of different things. I know last year I kind of did rectangles here. This year I did our double-ended flag stacklets, and I did shorten them up. You know how you can cut it and then you scooch it down and shorten it a little bit? I did do that so that I didn't want it reaching all the way out to the side. So I'm going to grab another little bit of foam tape just because I can. I think the reason why I'm going through my 1/32 so quickly is because I don't have to be so fearful of it being over that 1/4 inch for the post office, so I find I've been using it more. You could position your sentiment down here on the lower half of, I wouldn't put it up here on the top half of this pull mechanism. This year, last year I kept putting everything down on this. I decided to do my banner across so that my fold runs down the middle of this banner, because then it kind of hides that fold line, I guess. I mean, it's fine, it's not that bad, but I just feel like it covers it and makes it kind of look kind of pretty. I'm gonna scooch my card over here. I do this because I'm watching these lines. So I have this main black line is running right down the middle of my fold mechanism. And then I will bring my double stitch banner in and line that up. I always just follow these lines. So is this running kind of down the center? Yeah. Kind of helps me know if I'm straight, because a lot of times I'm not. Also, another trick that I do. Yep, I'm straight. I like that. So that's our silver foil cardstock that I did there. And so that I could show you lots of other things, I went ahead and I used, excuse my reach, the VersaFine Clear and our clear embossing powder to stamp and die cut a sentiment for us. And in here I have the Congrats Grad. I love this set because I've used the Yes You Did for my girls that are in college now, and I've used the You're a Star before also. It's for awards that my kids have gotten. So I use this set even if you don't have a grad. The only grad sentiment is one out of the whole thing. So I'm going to put the Congrats Grad there. So of course I want more foam tape, right? Let's see, am I missing any questions? Hello from Florida. Is that Louise again? No, that's Susan. We have the same name. I love it. Thank you. Florida, we go to Siesta Key every year. Or not, yeah, Siesta Key. We just went to Key West a little bit ago. We just love that area. I love the sand there. It's spoiled me. Now that I love that white fluffy sand, I'm spoiled by it. It's my favorite. Let's see, am I missing any other questions? Oh, you missed this last year? Oh, good, Karen. I was a little worried. I even asked Taylor, I said, do you think it'll be a big deal if I show this again? I don't want people to be bored because I did show it last year. But last year I was really just focused on this card. Today I have a lot more stuff to show you. But I'm glad to hear that you liked it, because Taylor said, well, we always have new people. And this is literally one of my favorite. Oh, you're in Miramar. Sorry, totally just changed the subject. Susan, I know where that's at. That's a beautiful place too. I loved Key West. It is its own place. That's all I can say. I learned a lot. I don't know if you guys know something called the Gypsy app. It's something my husband and I have, total side note here, have gotten really addicted to with traveling. It like tells you about history of an area and stuff. So the Gypsy app taught me a lot about Key West. Lots of things I didn't know. I didn't know that I don't know what a pirate is. I had a different idea of what a pirate in history was. So there's a lot of pirate history down in Key West, but I loved learning all that history about them down there. So there we go. So again, so do you see how my banner hangs off the middle there? It's only half of it's glued down or adhered. I really like that. So, and then on the inside, one of my favorite sentiments that we did last year was the behind you. Wait, I want to make sure it fits. Yes, it does. I love this. This was one of my requests from last year. All you need, behind you, all your memories, before you, all your dreams. I just love that. So that is what I plan to put on the inside of this. I might add some, let's see, I was debating, I brought these in. These are one of my favorite things. It's these little, but I think this might be too dark. You might not even be able to see them. Yep. I didn't bring in silver cardstock into my live. I think I might, when I take photos of this, you'll see some silver stars added. Some of the little bit silver stars. I cut black ones, but I think the black is just too dark for this blueberry. So again, this is just Versamark with clear embossing powder on blueberry. And this was the one that Taylor showed on Tuesday. And I'm tipping it because it's so hard to see, it just looks black. But it's black embossed, so I used, it's Oreo cardstock with Versamark and then clear embossing powder. Gave that black, like, tone on tone look. I thought that turned out so pretty. Same thing though. Again, I have that one, this one, and then this was the one with the pearl. So I like doing all that. And something I've said before in the past, if you didn't want this card to open and you just wanted to do a card front for one of these, you could totally do that and just sign the grad, like congrats grad here, have your gift card there. You don't have to have an opening card for this one. Okay, so that was that one. That one happens to be my favorite. I'm glad you enjoyed it and that it wasn't a big deal that I showed it again. Then this, for my next thing I want to show you, is that Taylor brought in a while back gift card holders, the actual like envelope for a gift card, so that you could decorate it and make them look fun or stamp on them, whatever. And I've done this before in the past. What I do is I adhere it because I want to make sure like whoever's receiving whatever gift I'm sending doesn't open the card and it falls on the floor, or what I always fear is that it stays down in the bottom of the envelope and they don't see it. So what I do is I take the actual envelope, the gift card envelope, seal it, whether you're going to seal it or you just want to glue it. I know after COVID we don't want the things licked, right? I go ahead and I seal it, and then I take our circle die cuts, whatever, and I'm going to use the stitch circle, but whatever circles you have, and you can either do the bigger one, you can do the smallest one, whatever you like. For this envelope, I usually choose the second from the small, so the second smallest one. I adhere it. I'm going to just place it right there. I'm going to die cut it. You know what? Something I'm going to do first. I'm going to cut the top off. So I sealed it, so that's what it looks like. And on the top where it's sealed, I'm going to cut that off, just so that now it opens. So on the top there, I'm going to cut that off so that it will open for them, and so that I can put my gift in it. Then I will set my die and die cut that. Let me get a piece of tape. And we will run that through the die cut machine. Pulling the die cut machine in quite a bit today. It's getting a workout, huh? Oh, Karen, thank you. You're a newbie. I love it. Oh, thank you. That's such kind words. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad people are learning something from my card making. It's funny how when I started this card making thing many, many years ago, I never thought it would bring me to TE and Tailored Expressions. I just love it. And there's so much old information in this head of mine that I have to share. It's kind of funny. I'm glad you guys appreciate it. So I cut that notch out, and then I would just take tape runner and put adhesive on the back and then tape it right inside my card. And you can put it down on the bottom, whatever you want. And then this is one of our grad insiders. And I love these. You can either foil them if you want because it's printed with toner, or you can just leave them black. This one is foiled with the black foil, but absolutely just leave them black works too. If you're someone that doesn't do foiling, they're great black. I used our stitched rectangle to cut it out, and then the stars are stamped with one of the backgrounds that's on sale. I believe it's called Falling Stars. I don't know. And then it's stamped with oyster. So that is, I know that background is one of the sale items. So kind of a fun thing to add to your collection if you don't already have it. So I've added that. They come in many colors. You've got the craft, red, and then this pack is the silver and gold, which would be really versatile if you don't know what you need. Silver or gold should usually work inside of most cards. So let me bring this one in. So I made this card, and Taylor, I believe, showed it on Monday, but I took it apart because I wanted to show you how you can add the notch gift card holder, gift card notch to the inside of your card. If you want to put the notch on the main, like when you open your card, the inside on the bottom, you wouldn't want to die cut it there. But if I'm layering anything over the top here, I will just add my notch right into my card base. So I'm going to line that up, get it where I want it, make sure it's straight. Like that. And Karen, the other thing that's funny, I started as a scrapbooker, and when I realized that there was no end to scrapbooking, I'm a person that likes a finished project. So I took a right-hand turn, and I haven't scrapbooked since I started card making, so I went the other direction. So it's kind of funny. So I've got my notch centered right in the, this would be the front of my card, but you're not gonna see this. I'm gonna run this through my die cut machine just to cut that notch into there. Again, my die cut machine is getting a workout today. So you can cut right into that. I have a little bit of adhesive left over from my tape. Rub it off, or that little adhesive eraser would work great. So cut that in, and then this happens to be the front of that I would put on the front of my card. Again, this is one of the insiders. And then our grad cap. We have Little Bits grad cap and a regular grad cap. This is the bigger of the two. And then these are our Little Bit stars. And I know Taylor and I discussed this. Red and black seem to be my go-to. I know high school colors vary, but that happens to be my high school colors. So, and my daughter's, it was red and like a royal blue. So if you know who your card is going to, try using their school colors. I really think that's fun. So again, here's where I cut the notch. I'm gonna go ahead and adhere that to the card front because I wanted my final color to be black, my final base color to be black, and it's hard then to write on the inside of a card. So I put it on a white top folding card base. So then our notch is right in there. And again, you can either use the notch to put some money in there, because you can kind of see where your card front is. The only thing is if you were gonna pop up your card front there, like I popped mine up here between the silver and the red pepper or cherry pop, whatever you wanted to use. I put my foam adhesive there, so no one's gonna see that, and it's not gonna run into the money or anything like that in that notch. So I like adding it there, and then we can put one of our insiders in here. What did I stamp? I can't remember. I had an inside piece for this one. I might stamp the all you need in this one, being I kind of have something inspirational or a little bit saying congratulations on the outside. So that's how you can add the money there, or you can add the gift card in there, whatever. That's the way to add it just to your card base, but you can also just cut a whole nother piece of paper. So I get that in there. Get my, there we go. And that keeps it really secure, and I don't have to worry about it getting lost inside the bottom of the envelope. I don't know why that's my fear, but that is my fear. So I have another one here somewhere that I thought I added. Forgive me, here it is. This is it. So this one, I added its own piece of paper into the inside. So I took our stitched rectangle die and I cut the notch right into there. And then you can slide the money, and this is going in a different direction than my other one. You can slide your money in there or your gift card in there that way. So whichever works for you. If you want to reduce the bulk a little bit, cut it right into your card base. Okay, so next thing is to show you something that Lori Craig did that I thought was so cool. And this happens to be how I do lottery tickets with my brother's cards, birthday cards. I will do a notch in the front, and these are from, let me grab I had everything really organized before I started. It's all in a nice pile. It's definitely not in a nice pile anymore. I'm gonna move that out of the way. We don't need that anymore. So either one of these would work. Lori Craig used the On the Straight Track. So she used this middle die, and she cut right into the grad insiders and used that on the front of her card so that she can either tuck money right in here or a gift card. I also use this exact same thing, but on the inside, and I'll show you that. The other one that you can use, if you have our new sentiment strips, I love these. These are one of my favorite new things because I love that beveled edge that a die cut gives for a sentiment strip, but same thing, you can use this to cut into for whatever size that you need, because money is a little more narrow than what a lottery ticket is, and lottery tickets come in all kinds of different sizes too. So I'm going to show you that one. I'm going to take this birthday card, and I have an insider that's mom. Let me see, where did I put it? Uh-oh. I moved it. I moved all my things. I have an insider mom that I thought would be great for this. Sorry. Hold please. I've just lost it. It's here somewhere. Let me see if I can just find a new one. Let's go that route, right? So these are the insider's mom, because there's one in here that is just good for all the time. Hopefully there's a second one in here. Yes. Good. And as soon as I use this, the other one will reappear. Isn't that the way it goes? So this, again, is the insider's for her. But I think this sentiment, wishing you the very best day ever, you deserve it, works for anything. So you could use it for Mother's Day. But I am going to use it as a birthday card. And I thought it would be fun to go ahead and use one of these, and you can slip your sentiment right, or whatever you're giving them, right in there. So I'm going to do it as though I was giving money. So I'm going to put I kind of want to lay this out a little bit to see where my money's going to fit, how everything's going to fit. So I think I'm going to go with this one, and we'll put it about right there, just so I can tuck it down in there. We'll use some tape to hold that in place. I want to make sure it's straight, so I'm going to use my lines again. Hold that in place. And again, you could foil that if you wanted to or not. I'm not going to. I think the black is just fine. I want to scooch it over. It's not centered. So picky, right? I'm always scooching these around because I want to use these lines to tell me if I'm straight. Okay, there we go. I'm going to die cut that. Again, this is the sentiment strip. I don't know, it released like, I don't know, a few months ago, sentiment strip dies. But also on the straight track, if you have that one, would also work. I think we have an older one too that was also it was a track making. So check your stuff, check your supplies. So that cuts out an opening so that you can add your money in. So I would take this, we're gonna adhere this to the inside with just some tape runner. I won't put anything or very little underneath where this is going to slide in. Obviously don't want tape there. That's going to stop the ability to slide in my gift card or whatever I'm putting in there. Again, I just have adhesive left over from that temporary tape. Rubs right off, or again, adhesive remover would be great. So that you can take your money and tuck it in, or your gift card. Isn't that fun? So this is, the gift card might be a little taller, and you could always scooch it up, but also when they take it out, they will see your sentiment. So that's if you wanted to do a birthday card. Again, I've done it with lottery tickets. The lottery tickets are usually bigger, and then I put them up on the top flap, and then I have more room to write. But whatever works for you, or whatever you're giving, just try and see if it'll fit. I suppose that could be cute with a lot of things. If you had stickers for a kid or something like that, anything flat could go in there. I keep taking my money out because I keep moving it, right? Hopefully I have it at the end of the video, right? Okay, so that was the sentiment strips, or again, the track. You can use those. And then I wanted to show this one. So again, this is a grad card. Lori, or not Lori, Heather made this last year with our layering stencil, the Hooray, which I think is so much fun. She used that one last year, and it looks like she used a little, with one layer, she used some of our gold paste, glitter paste. So obviously not the right year, but I stamped that grad sentiment, all you need, in there. And I stamped it, being this one is black, it's a little bit harder. You have to use a white gel pen or something to write on black. So I just took a piece of sugar cube that's 4 by 5 1/4, And then I stamped that all you need in black or an Oreo on there. And then this is where I would use it up on the top. So I'm gonna grab the other set this time. We will grab the track set. And I can use whichever one I want. I might do wider because this is, like if you want, I suppose this is a grad. We don't want to put a lottery ticket in a grad's, depending on the state, I guess. So let's check cash, which one of these I want to use for cash. Let's go back to these sentiment strips and pick one that works for cash. Grab this one. Maybe I need the one that I just used back. Yep, let's go back to that one. Either one works. And then it would be good too to like stamp, kind of zhuzh it up a little bit. Let's check and see if I'm straight. Yep. I'm not gonna bring the die cut machine back in this time. I'll just run it through. And again, the only thing you have to remember when you do this is just whichever direction you're gonna slide your money, don't put tape on that side of it. So I'm gonna skip it on this side. I'm gonna just put a little bit just to make sure it stays in there. And then I will put everywhere that I don't want my money to go. So we'll add that into my card. Let's see, am I missing anything? I'm always trying to double check. Yes, anything, but any of this works. Grad or birthday or Mother's Day, or just because if you have someone that's in need that needs money or a gift card or a little pick-me-up. Slide the money in there. Again, it won't be getting lost. So that's another way. I have one more way to give money, and that's RTE. This is an older product, RTE gift card pop-up. And that one has been around, and it really makes quite the, statement when you open up a card. So let me grab, and this is the one that I've already previously made. Again, there's my red and black, right? And that's how that fits on the inside of there. Isn't that fun? So I'm going to show you on a birthday card this time, being this one's already grad. So I took it, this is Lollipop. Taylor made this card on a live not too long ago. That is our Foilet Hooray Birthday, and it also goes with the Hooray quad. So that was something that came out, and she used some rainbow foilet to make that one up. But mainly what I wanted to show you is the inside of your card. So I went and I cut the gift card pop-up with Lollipop cardstock. And my thing is, if you use this, double check before you get started. This is 4 1/4 wide, but make extra sure you made your card base 4 1/4. Kind of like I said, sometimes you can just be a hair off. You can be a hair short of 4 1/4. You can be a hair over 4 1/4, and that makes a difference on how this fits in there. So I always take mine after I have it die cut, and I reinforce all those lines. It'll make this process so much easier for you. And the other thing that you need to do is that this distance right here, that this is, your base of it will end up being 1/4 inch. I would say it's like a fat 1/4 inch. So it's like 3/8 of an inch from here to this bend. And that distance needs to match on this base where this ends up sitting. So I went ahead of time and I cut this. You wouldn't have to do this, but this is the way, just to make sure that I show it to you. So this distance between here and here needs to match here so that your card will shut properly. So this is, like I said, about 3 1/4 of an inch strip of just sugar cube cardstock. And I did that on purpose just to really let you see what I'm doing here. I like to use score tape when it comes to any sort of pop-up or interactive thing, because I feel like it just holds that much better. So let me put this down. We'll put some up here. So you want, after you cut this, and I might show you on the die just because it's so much easier to see. So this part and this part are going to get adhered down on the inside of your card, okay? Then this stuff will all be loose. So that's where I'm putting my adhesive on both of those. We'll peel these up and I will show you. So obviously, when you're looking at this, you want your gift card to be held up when they open it. So this part with this notch or this T kind of notch up at the top here is going to be up top. The part that's flat is on your base of your card. So let's get this peeled up. So again, here's my little T notch. I call it it's a stretch to call it a T, but that's what I want to call it. So I'm going to take just this 3/8 of an inch strip of cardstock and lay it right against the crease of my card. That's going to help me know exactly what 3/8 of an inch, and it also helps show you what I'm talking about here. So that 3/8 of an inch matches, again, this 3/8 of an inch that's going on right here. So I'm going to line that up, put it in there right like that. And I did check before we even started the live that I matched, and my 4 1/4 cardstock base was a smidge small. So I just took just a hair off the side of this die cut. So I've adhered that down. I personally like to make this pop-up mechanism the same as whatever card base color I'm using. Anyway, that's just a personal preference. You can do whatever you want. I like to make it look like a cohesive part of the card. So then I will take this and I take it and I fold it. So because I want this all to close properly like that. So you'll want all your folds in place. So I will lay it down. I've got the base all glued down. This is folded at the middle, should be the middle fold line right here. This is the fold line of your card, which is about 3/8 of an inch away. Then I've got this folded back and then back again so that you have that mechanism going on in your card. And then you will just bring the top of your card and close it on itself. That will catch everything in place. Does that make sense? I wish I had better words sometimes for explanation. I think the biggest tip I can give you is to score everything first to make sure all your score lines are in place. Know where that 3/8 of an inch is on your base of your card, and then kind of just lay it out and look at it, and then it will make a lot more sense in your head. But let me grab I don't have red in the lollipop, but that holds your gift card. Isn't that fun? I like that one. That one is a little more folding and kind of keeping it in place, but I think it really is very professional and cool looking. People will be like, how'd you do that? What is that? So, and a gift card fits in there. I don't know if you could do money. I wonder if our little envelopes fit in there. Nope, not quite, too big. But that is that one. So I had already done this one with the grad. Again, none of these gift cards really matched the inside of my cards. So there you go. All right, let's see. Did I miss anything? Because I'm glad I did stuff ahead of time because we're at an hour already. So let's bring some of these back in, and then I will give you a sneak peek. Are we so excited? I know I am. Let's put some of these things back out for you guys to see. So even if you don't have a grad, remember this, all of these ideas work for anyone you want to give money or a gift card to. So thanks for joining me. Are you ready for the tea? I didn't forget. Oh, thanks, Karen. Thank you, thank you. Great explanation, Jamie. Thank you. I appreciate that. Are we ready? Drum roll. I gotta tell you, it's cute. Set your alarms for 9 o'clock on Tuesday because it's a kit. Are you ready? Because you know I just kind of go kind of over and slow. Isn't it cute? Oh, googly eyes. We gotta go like that. Can I make him shake? There we go. There's your sneak peek. I can't give you any more than that. So I hope you guys, I love it. Ready for the tea. That was your tea and I just spilt it. So I hope you guys try something. I hope you have a great week and thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you. Have a good day. Bye.